Oh, we're recording? Alright. So now I'm going to make a second video. My first one was about intro to technical analysis. Pretty long video. This one I'm going to try to keep a little shorter. Just trying to kind of give you a basis of like how to get into crypto. If like you're like, okay, cool, like, I want to get started. How do I buy Bitcoin? There's a couple different routes you can go. The most popular right now is Coinbase, just because it's like been around for a while. There's like an app you can use. Um, I mean, since it's been around and it's one of the biggest ones, it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, like a Walmart. You just kind of like trust it. It just has, what you need. It's like the biggest one, so it has a lot of features. It's kind of funny that compared to Walmart, because it's just like it's making progress just really like quickly, and it's adding more coins. It's like, top of the line stuff. It's taking care of everyone's needs and whatnot. Um, but I mean, as you can see here is Coinbase. This is what it looks like. If you have it on your phone, it's going to look different. But you can make an account through your phone. So if you want to do this all through your phone, it's very possible. Online just gives you a bigger picture. In terms of screen size, it's not much different. But I've had my account for a little while now. I've actually been around to where like Bitcoin was like fudging like 2 grand or less. No, like it's like $800, and then Bitcoin Cash was not around. Ethereum was like $7, and Litecoin wasn't on Coinbase, but it was like $3 or $2 or something like that. So it's pretty crazy to see how these things have moved in the past like year. You can look at these charts. I love looking at these charts, just seeing the price go up. Just because I think it's really cool how something can grow so quickly. And yeah, so that's pretty much what this has. This is a technical graph, so to speak. This is kind of what I was showing in my last video, where some people have it different. There's no candlesticks in this one. So as you can see, your information of what it's been doing is pretty limited. From this you can just see that's been moving up really quickly. Bitcoin Cash, similar things. Ethereum, similar things. Litecoin, similar things. You can see all these had like pretty recent spikes too, around the past like month or two. But this will be just how to buy Bitcoin. So once you make an account, you go ahead and you like add your ID. They verify that's you. You hook up your bank if you want. Hopefully, I don't have very transaction delays. I don't think I have my like information in terms of my cards like linked, so I should be able to show you guys what's going on. You're gonna have like limits for things, so let's see. I don't know if I can buy and sell maybe. Yeah, I mean, you can't really see what's going on. It blocks out my stuff, which is good. My only thing I have on here is my debit card. But when you go to your settings, like especially when you first make your account, they're gonna ask you what you want to hook up, and you can like add new accounts and stuff like that. So this is what you're gonna see when you first get there. You're gonna see bank account, you're gonna see credit or debit card, you're gonna see wire transfers. Those are the three that you got right now. These are pretty much the most common. I think debit card is the most common. But this is like easy to do because you can just hook up your bank login info. They got all the popular ones: Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank City. Just a lot of them. And if you don't see it, you can search it. I know one in Carbondale, which I went to school, was Old National. Let's see if they got Old National. So there you go, Old National. You got the login info for that. Let me see if maybe they had. What's that one that is? I forgot the one that they put in terms of Old National, but it was like a smaller one. I'm trying to see if they have like really, really small ones. I mean, say like a credit union, whatever. I mean, they even have like credit union login info, so they're pretty well integrated. Because when I first started doing this, they never were really that big in terms of having all these different banks to log in. So kudos to them. Say if you want to hook up your Chase, you do that, you log in. it's going to connect to your Chase account, and then you can transfer money. If you want to put in 500, do that. Back to the limits though, you are going to have limits. On your card, you might start off with less than 1,000. I think it might be 100 to 300 or so. You can increase them by adding your you can increase them by adding your ID and some other things that they might want to see. That'll give you a bigger limit, and then over time, as you can see in mine, if I buy another $500 worth with this type of payment, my limit's probably going to go up to 5,000. I'm not sure the jump of whatever, but it's going to go up. So, you might start off small with credit debit cards, and then work your way up, get bigger limits. With a bank account, if you want to buy a lot, you can do so with your bank account. I think wire transfers, I thought used to be like a lot more, but I mean, it's definitely a big jump increase. I think when you first start off, it's definitely still bigger than the debit card. So if you want to buy a lot of Bitcoin, that's the way you can do it. So when you go to the buy and sell, it's pretty straightforward. It's like honestly really easy now. Bitcoin's unavailable somehow, but I mean, it's normally not like that. Hold on. Let's see if I'm just refreshing it. And so, all right, so it's unavailable for some reason, but bet you it'll come out soon. So either way, it's going to work the same way if you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. As of today, it's January 1st, 2018. It's a lot easier, in my opinion, to buy Litecoin and switch it out into whatever you want to do because it's like cheaper transaction fees. And I forgot where it was. Maybe settings. There's somewhere you saw it earlier that was saying like there's a transfer delay, and I think right here. So there's a transfer delay of like backlog of outgoing transactions. Sends might be delayed. Okay, right here you got Bitcoin buy. That happened probably like right now. Transaction, Coinbase, external. Okay, so this one right here, you got Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're experiencing significant delay. Anticipate waiting 12 hours. It's a long time, especially with Bitcoin because it should be at least like an hour quicker. But you mean as of now, I would say it's easier to buy Litecoin because it's the one that's not affected. And Litecoin, I think, tends to be a lot faster and less fees to do it. So that can be a way to circumvent, having to worry about Bitcoin being so high and when you're trying to pull it out into another exchange or, do whatever you want to do with it. So you have the payment method will be whatever you want to do. You'll have your method. If you want to buy, about $1,000 worth, they'll tell you can buy Litecoin with $1,000. I don't have $1,000 right now. It'd be nice to buy a bunch of Litecoin with, but that's what you do if you want to buy, however much you want to buy with. So once you have those amount in Litecoin, it would go to your account, and this is where it would be right here in your wallets. If you have your Litecoin wallet, this is where it'd be. Let's see if you want to. How do you send it? Send it. All right, I'm just looking at the wrong. This is buy and sell. Accounts. I think. Here it is. I'm blind. Oh, for some reason. Yeah, here it is. Well, okay, so I guess you can't. Or maybe it's just because I don't have. Yeah, I think that's why it's not popping up. I just don't have any in those wallets. Or maybe it's just blocked right now. I don't know. But once you have it in your wallet, you should be able to then send it to, whichever wallet you want to do. So I'm just going to be simple. I'm going to do Bitcoin, even though I don't have Bitcoin. But I'll show you guys, actually I think I do have like a very small amount. But, oh yeah, that's definitely why, because I have like none amount in here, but I do have a little bit amount in these. But yeah, so if you have enough, these buttons will pop up. You can send, you can receive, someone wants to send you money. And honestly, it's a way that you can do it if you want to accept, some money from someone. They're like, oh, I got Bitcoin. Be like, all right, I can receive Bitcoin through my Coinbase wallet. Especially with your phones, it's a lot easier. I know other countries like Zimbabwe and I think Venezuela, they've been kind of like starting to get into that. You could just use a QR code, which is like this. So if you guys want to send me Bitcoin, here you go. But you'll do this and it'll be on your phone. It's super easy. It just pops up and then you take your camera on your phone and you just scan it, simple as that, and then you send it. So send it. So when you wanna send coins, that's the thing I do with my friends. I think there's a video too on YouTube, or Facebook. And so whenever you want to send it out of your Coinbase wallet, you'll just click send. Obviously, there's a delay. So I'll go into Bittrex. Most of you who are new, you're not going to be able to get Bittrex just now. There's been a new issue for people who've been wanting to buy it, or not buy it, get wallets. It's like there's been so many people that have been wanting to do it that they're not able to keep up with the demand. So they're having to like kind of do some things on their own back end to make sure that, wait, that's a good thing. I thought it said for good. I was like, damn, that sucks. That's going to change my whole video. But, I mean, this is a letter that they put out last month of how there's been so many new people and they want them all, but they can't because there's a lot of traffic. And, it's a trading account. It's a trading exchange. So if you have all these trades going in and then it's causing a disruption in the, like their back end with their traffic and their bandwidth or whatever, then they're not going to be able to like handle all those transactions. It's going to cause people to lose money. It's a big mess, especially when you have money involved. You don't want to be, lagging in terms of support and being able to handle people's orders and stuff like that. So this is a good thing, to be able to kind of revamp whatever they have, so then that way they can handle bigger traffic. And I know they're going to open up soon. It's just more money for them, so they're working on it. It should come soon. I like Bittrex a lot. It's really just simple. It's one of the first ones I got. And they have like every coin on there. I don't have a lot of coins right now, but so whenever, actually I want to stay there. Whenever you have Bitcoins in your Coinbase account, whether it be Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, all of them are available on Bittrex. So if we do Bitcoin right here, you got Bitcoin right there. If you want to add Bitcoin, you just press the plus button and it'll pop up with a address that you can send it to. Same thing with the QR code on the bottom. Here's my address. Send me Bitcoins. That'd be dope. Next, you got Bitcoin Cash, which is BCH, I think. No, maybe BCC. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash. Same thing. You're going to have the plus sign, you click it, you can add, it's going to show an address, and then you can add like Bitcoin Cash on there. I'm gonna wait 1 second. It's not important that you see mine, but this is where yours would be, and you can press a new one. I think most people that have Bittrex accounts, this is kind of something that you already know, but for people that might be watching this and then it's going to come in later, then this is something that you already are like knowledgeable, and you don't have to like kind of rack your head, figure out how to do all this stuff. You kind of already know, and it's going to be similar to other exchanges. I'm gonna go into Binance after this video because it's the same thing, but it's a different platform, and I'm pretty sure it has like just different ways it looks and stuff like that. But it's all pretty much the same. You just want to transfer out of Coinbase into your wallet. So same thing with Litecoin. It's LTC. Same thing with Ethereum, ETH. They're going to have their own little things. I'm going to go ahead and go back to Bitcoin. They all work the same way. They just have different things. An important thing that I want to point out is when you have one account that you're moving from, it's very important not to switch it up. So you don't want to be taking Bitcoin Cash, sending Bitcoin Cash into a Bitcoin wallet. They're two different wallets. They're two different codes, two different blockchains. It's not, you're going to lose your money. I'm not really sure what happens to it. I'm pretty sure it goes somewhere. But when you send your money from one wallet to another and they're not the same wallet, it might still send it out, but it's going to be hard trying to get that back. Again, I don't know where they go, but it's very important that you're making sure you're sending to the right wallets in terms of it's a Bitcoin to a Bitcoin wallet, as well as you want to make sure it's the right address because you don't want to send to someone else. You want to send to where you want to go, whether it's to yourself or your friend. I'll send you an example of what this looks like. So whenever you have a Bitcoin, it's going to start with a 1, followed by a bunch of like letters and numbers and stuff. It's going to have its own code. Same thing with Bitcoin Cash. It's going to have its own unique thing. I think this is a 1 too. So it is easy to get confused when you have the 1 in the beginning, because you're like, oh, is it Bitcoin Cash? Is it Bitcoin Wallet? You just have to kind of just really be paying attention to what's going on. Ethereum is different. It has a 0 in the beginning. It might have other numbers. I'm not sure. Litecoin is going to have its own as L for Litecoin. So that's how you kind of know where you're sending it, because it's going to have its own like first letter or number in there. I think Ripple might be like R or something like that, or I don't think it's J, but it has its own like little, unique thing in the beginning. So that's kind of how you know. So that's why I think between Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Wallet is the most, is the one that you got to pay attention to the most, because that's the one that probably could get easy to get like confused about. But you add, you take the address that you find from here. Here's my address. You copy it. If you're on your phone, same thing, copy it. You can use the QR codes too. So say if you have your app on your phone for Coinbase, I'll pop up my phone. I think, I don't know, I can't see myself right. No, I can see myself now. You pop up your thing in your phone, and when you have Coinbase, you can see it right there, Coinbase. You make me log in. You make me log in. That's what you make me do. But I don't have to log in. You'll just do the same thing. So whenever you have it on your screen, you'll be able to take that thing, where did it go? Right here. And if you want to deposit, you just take your phone and you'll have the Coinbase app, and you're able to press send, and it'll ask you what's the thing. So you could either type it in manually, which kind of takes a while. If you're doing it on your phone, you can just copy and paste. But if you're on your computer, like I am, and you want to send coins from your phone, or using your phone, rather speak, to your Coinbase, your Bittrex wallet on your computer. I mean, you could do this all through your phone too. It's just different websites. But I mean, it's just easy if you have a computer in front of you, you have your phone with you. You could just scan the little QR code instead of having to type it out. It just makes it easier. But either way, as long as you have the right code that you're sending from your phone or from Coinbase itself, like I'm doing on my computer, if I were to send it from here, I were to just copy this, make sure it's the right code. When you're copying it, it's pretty much the right code, and then just paste it into there. If you did buy Bitcoin with, whatever you use, your account, your card, it would show up here in your wallet, and then you can use, your wallet to put in however much money you have. If you have $1,000, whatever, and there'll be a network fee. That's why I do say it's important, because you see right here this network fee. I don't even have any Bitcoin I'm sending. This is just in general a Bitcoin network fee. $20. That's popped. That's super popped. That's ridiculous. It shouldn't be that high. It's because there's so many people trying to do stuff. It's that way. It pretty much, you're paying to send your money, and it's a convenience factor almost. It's just like, so you don't have to wait as long. But it's popped. So that's why I do say it's a good time, right, at least for right now, to just buy Litecoin or have Litecoin to be able to move it out of Coinbase into whatever wallet, and then you can switch it back into Bitcoin and buy other things. It's just cheaper. I think I don't have any Litecoin, so I don't think I can show you how much it really costs. It's a lot cheaper, I know for sure. I also want to buy some Litecoin to show you guys how much cheaper it is, but that would be your best bet. You'll try it out if you do it yourself. Hopefully, by the time you guys are doing this on your own or whatever, it will not be that way. It'll be cheaper for Bitcoin, but that's a way to get rid of fees. You don't want to be trapped in fees. Fees suck. It'll just cut from your profits, from your money, and it's just unnecessary. The cheaper your fees are better. Whenever you do send it, like we just had discussed in there, you send it, continue, you do it. Then it's going to show up on here, and it's going to confirm. It'll have your deposits, and it'll start confirming however much you sent. Once it's done pending, it'll be in your history, and then it'll also be here in your wallet. It'll be available balance of however much you sent. And then from there, that's when the fun begins. That's when your trade account is funded and you're ready to go. Next, I'll get into, what if you wanted to buy Bitcoin, whatever you wanted to do. So say if like you're looking at a coin that you like. I know my friend just told me about Nexus. It's like a space type coin, and it's been going up pretty decently. I did look at the chart. It's made some pretty solid gains. Let's see here. So this thing's going to load on its own. If you saw my thing kind of switch graphs, I have a plugin for Bittrex, which it makes it a lot easier to look at the graphs because it uses a trading view. That's this one. It uses this like a plugin instead of the basic Bittrex graph, and this allows you to draw a lot better things. The one thing it doesn't let you do is sign in, meaning you're not going to be able to look at what you already have drawn if you come here. But what I typically do is I typically just kind of use this as a reference, but I typically just do all my analysis on here because you can save it. Like if you can sign in to this, it's free, and then you can save all these graphs. And also on the right here, probably should include this in my last video, but you'll have like your watch list of like all the coins you've been looking at, and this is super helpful because it just keeps in order of all the coins you've been looking at and maybe trades you might have open. So you can just easily look like and find the different ones. Here's Bitcoin, here's Ethereum, here's I think I have Nexus on here. Yeah, here's Nexus on its own, and this is like a 4-hour chart. So it's been making pretty solid gains up. It's definitely had its retracement. It's gone back to pretty much where it started, so it might have been pumped, but or just had a good sell off. So this is what I mean. Now would be a good time to buy Nexus. I'll just kind of go over it. Like, look at where it started for so long, and definitely made some gains from where it started even before that. Go back further, made some little bit of gains. But compared to like what it was when it started here, it's gone up and it's retraced all the way back down to here. Is it like not arriving? Is it approaching support? Possibly. If you look at here, it's coming down. That's the support. Back up to here, touching support. So it's kind of at support. So I mean, this is kind of random tangent on the video that I was trying to really do. But I would say Nexus is a good time to buy right now because if it's gone up like this and then it had a sell off and it's gone down, this is considered cheap. Especially when you look at how much it's gone up to before, it probably could do it again. It's just kind of going through a little market cycle. It probably could still go down further. So I mean, if you did buy, I'd maybe buy a little bit and then see if it goes down further and buy more when it goes down because I think it could still drop down even further. But I definitely would not buy it, and if it did go down, sell because that would just be like panic selling. That wouldn't be a good idea. You definitely want to have strong hands. When you invest into things, you don't want to be emotionally attached to this money. You don't want to worry about it because if it goes down, you're going to be freaking out. It's always good to be patient. If it goes down, it's going to go down, but you just have to wait for it to go back up. Most of these coins are going to go back up unless they're a shit coin. And I don't like to swear on these videos because of, just trying to be more audience friendly. But that's what they're called. They're called shitcoins for a reason because they just don't serve a purpose. They're just there to pump. But there definitely are coins out there that have good fundamentals behind them that you'd want to stick around and buy with. Some coins are just, they're just waiting for their turn to get jumped up to the moon and just pumped up and doing well. So for people to buy them. So don't have a lot of Bitcoin to really buy with, but if you were to buy, this is how you'd buy. Kind of going over the basics. This is a bid and an ask book. Another thing that I have is a plugin. If you look on Google, you have just different plugins. I think it's under settings or extensions, tools. Yeah, it's under extensions, and you can find more with it, get more extensions. I use Chrome. It's the easiest ones. There's 2 Bittrex ones I use. Bittrex Enhanced, which is really nice, and then I think I have one more, maybe not. Maybe Bittrex Enhanced is all I use. Yeah. So Bittrex Enhanced. Yeah. So this covers both things. With Bittrex Enhanced, it allows me to switch in this plugin for a trading view one, just makes it easier to look at. Then it also gives you these, sorry, these prices right here. Because normally the prices are going to be like the bids right here in the asks. They're going to be in terms of Bitcoin, and people look at them as Satoshis. Satoshis are just like those, like if you, like it's like the pennies to the dollar. Like you have pennies, and those make up a dollar, or yeah, or whatever. And you have 100 pennies, it's going to make up $1. Satoshis are like the fractions of those bitcoins, and I'm not too sure the exact saying. I think these might be like 7,000 or 73,000 Satoshis. Uh, Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, these are like, the smaller bits or whatever. So people do use the Satoshis as a reference um, whenever they're looking at the things. They'll be like, oh, like it's like 73,000, whatever, you know, right now. And I'll go back to the 4-hour chart. And at one point, it used to be 74,000, right? Am I tweaking? Am I looking at the right coin for Nixus? Oh, these are two different coins. I don't know what NXT is. I was definitely looking at some wrong things. NXT. I think NXS is Nixus. Yeah, so I was looking at the wrong one. I mean, I just did a random a random thing. I think this one got pumped, like I was saying. That's why I thought it was kind of usual that Nexus would be pumped, because normally coins that don't have much use for them get pumped. But like coins that do have a fundamental purpose behind them won't get pumped as hard, because there's like people that actually believe in the coin and they want to like see it succeed and whatnot. So here's Nexus. This one is actually on its way up still, as you can see. Let's go to a day. Just huge candles up. It's just been waiting to get back up ever since this last market cycle. It's gone up, started going up, hit its resistance right here. This is a double top. When it touches up, goes back down, but touches again, but then it goes back down. Plus, it's lower from when it was on the first like double top. And you got two crow's feet right here. These two like simultaneous candles. But that's some technical stuff. Then it drops all the way back down, and once it starts breaking again, it's like trend line down. I think you can draw with this, something like that. I mean, this is a crazy drop that it did. Something like that. Maybe here. But it's just like, it's definitely breaking all the trend lines that you could draw for, what it's been doing. And once it kind of hits one of these, then what did it do? It skyrocketed back up. So in terms of like buying and selling, say if like you were eyeing this coin for a while, you did see that it made its jump price up. It had its little reversal and it went back down. Normally when a coin goes up and goes back down, like you'll be waiting for it to go back down to the point where you're like, all right, I'm gonna buy it again. I want to buy it again when it first started its market cycle. So here's like its market cycle. It kind of jumped up, then it really jumped up, and it did some more moves. It kind of waited, jumped up again, kind of waited, and then made a massive run up before everyone took their profit and they crashed it back down. It got pretty low, but it didn't get to low as it used to be. I mean, it used to be like very small. Like I think that means 800 satoshis on the bottom there, on the bottom right, if you see where my mouse is. And then it's not going to crash all the way down to what it used to be, but it will kind of crash back down to when it first started its run up, its market cycle up. And right here, I mean, now that I analyze this coin, I would not suggest buying it, just because it's starting to approach the support. You don't know what's going to happen. I would wait for it to dip back down, however much it might do, and then buy again. Because I do think it's a good buy if you were watching it and it goes back down, and then you're in this range right here, I think that's a perfect buy because obviously you see what happens. But as of now, you don't want to be chasing these things up. Like, people might look at this chart and they'll be like, oh, like it's going back up, like it's going to go past the resistance, it's going to fly up. But that's just it's not a good entry price. Entry is pretty important in terms of, profit and what you want to do with it. So it's good to be patient. You don't want to be chasing trades because you're probably going to lose, especially if you're getting emotionally attached. But yeah, I mean, just wait it out, just see what happens. It might go back down and then you can buy again. It might go up a little bit. If it starts breaking resistance, you could wait for it to dip back down, and then if it breaks resistance again, then you can buy it again because it's most likely going to continue on with its journey upwards. But as of now, I wouldn't really buy Nexus. But just back to my example, where was I? Say if you did want to buy it, or actually, I think we were looking at the other coin. Let's just go back to the other one. Where is it? NXT. You can look at here. I think Bittrex should have NXT. Bittrex has like all the coins. That's why it's like one of the most popular. But definitely some other trading platforms I think are up and coming with getting a bunch of coins. So it's it's kind of like where we're in crypto right now. It's kind of like how it's like a new emerging stock market. There's going to be the certain guys who are on top. They have all the stocks, all the penny stocks, everything that you want to trade under God's green earth. And, some people have to catch up. They're not going to have all the stocks or whatever. But certain exchanges are going to start kind of, if they're smart, they're going to start getting those other coins into their platform and their exchange, and they're going to allow people to trade them. So some people might be bummed out they're not able to get into Bittrex right now and trade these coins, but just be patient. There's plenty of opportunity for it to come, I feel, especially in terms of like other exchanges being open. But I think, like I was saying earlier, Bittrex is definitely going to allow users. They're just working on their own end right now. So say if you want to buy this one, I think it's a solid buy. I don't think it's going to shoot up right after you buy it. But, 50 cents right now, 2,000 Satoshis, it showed that it can go up before. And that's its last all-time high. And this is like stuff when it got added to the exchange, so I don't really know what these things do. Most of the time, I think when it gets dropped into exchange, it like goes down, and then it'll start kind of finding its like balance. So around this area is like its balance. Right at these bottoms is like its balance point, and then this is like the bottom. This is like the least amount it can go before people are like, fuck it, I swear. Sorry. Fudge it, I'm going to start buying it. So, it goes up, comes down. You can buy right there. It goes up, comes even lower. Obviously when you're buying here, you're going to want to take profit at some point. That's kind of where, paying attention to your trades and realizing where support and resistance are helps a lot, because then you're able to close profit. If it goes down, then you're just waiting for a good opportunity to buy back in, and then you can buy here. You wait. It's important. This is a long time. This is from January to April. It didn't do much at all. It literally chilled at around the same price for so long until, you hit May. Then it's, going up, and it's doing another market cycle. And then you go up. If you see it's kind of around the same time it was resistance, its the last all-time high. It did make a new all-time high. So then, you can maybe wait for it to go up and then cash out. It's going to go down. This is kind of choppy waters right here because it's going up. You might think it might make a break for it and go up even more. So you don't want to be buying here, but obviously you might have bought here. And then if it goes up and it goes back down, then you might close your trade and just break even. You're not always be perfect, but if you kind of understand and pay attention to these markets, you will be successful, I feel. And as long as you just keep at it, I feel. So it's going back down. This is kind of like close to where the bottom is for like its like happy point in terms of like the lowest it'll go, and then it buys. And then what does it do? It like shoots up past all this resistance and comes back down to here. So if you look at this stuff, like it could still go back down to here, but in terms of it, where it's been last, I think here's a pretty solid place for it to buy back in. Personally, I guess I would want to wait for it to go back lower. Maybe keep an alert on like a phone or an app to like alert me if it goes to a certain price point and then buy it. But most of the things you just gotta be patient because they're probably gonna go back up. The only times you're screwed is when you buy at the top because it's probably never gonna go back to the top for a very long time. I mean, if you see here, this is a period of like 6 months before it was able to, um, hit its back to its all-time high. So if you bought here, it went down, and you had strong hands, you didn't sell, it would still take you about 6 months for it to go back up. So it's not always the best course of action, but I mean, if you're paying attention and you see it's hitting a new low, then it would be a good time to buy back in. If you wanted to buy Bitcoin, you have the bid and the ask side. Um, the bid is going to be what people are willing to buy it for. So these are all, when you look at trades, something I didn't realize for a long time is whenever you have a trade, there's two sides to a trade. There's the person that bought it and there's the person that sold it. Like you always got to think about it in terms of that. When someone says, yeah, like it's selling, that means there's people buying at that price. When it's selling low, people are still buying it at that low price. When it's selling high, people are still buying it at that high price. There's always a buyer, there's always a seller. So this is what the book shows you right here in the bids and asks. This is what people are willing to buy it for, which is always going to be cheaper. They're wanting to buy it for a cheaper price than what it is. And then you have your S, which people are willing to sell it for. So these people could have been buying it at a way lower price, made money, went up. Now they're selling it at the price it is. These people are just wanting to get in on it. They think it's going to go up, so they buy it. And that's what happens. Like most of these people are buying it, they think it's going to go up. So they want to buy it because they want it to go up. And once it goes up, then they'll be on the other side of the book and they'll sell it so they can make their profit. Some people might have tweaked and they bought it too high and then they're trying to sell it just because they want to get rid of it, get some of that capital back. There's kind of a lot of little factors that go into it. And here you can see there's like a lot more people wanting to buy it than there are sell. So another indication that, it's a good idea to maybe buy it now because if there's a lot more people wanting to buy it, then there's probably a lot more people that are seeing that like, oh, I think it's going to go up. And then the people are just willing to sell it and drive the price down. So, yeah, that's one thing to look at. This is how you do it. I mean, this is one thing that you can look at. How you actually do it, though, is with here. You have their trading like platform and everything. I don't have a lot of Bitcoin, but say if I had 0.01 or 0.001, whatever. I think that's the minimum. There's a minimum for Bittrex. I think it's 0.001 that you need. So say if you want to buy that amount of Bitcoin, Bitcoin's worth of Nexus, you go here, you do price, you could do bid or an ask price. I always just do last if I'm trying to get it quickly. And then you can set, if this here on the bottom is saying how much you're trying to buy. So if you're like, oh, I want to buy 0.01 of Bitcoin, this is the price that you set it at the last or whatever. And then this is how many coins you're going to get. So if you were to ever do that, I'll actually go to a coin that I have right now. I'll just like rebuy and sell. I'll probably lose a bit of money in trading fees, but it's okay because it's like to help show how it works. So I'll do, I'm not sure I got this one. Yeah, my altcoins haven't been doing too well, but I'm pretty confident that they'll still go back up. I'm just kind of waiting, just being patient. It's never what I used to do, and that's why I lost money. Is whenever I see it going down, I would start freaking out, and because I was emotionally attached to it, and I'm like, it's going down, like I'm gonna lose more money, blah blah blah. Like I need to get out, and I get out, and when you sell it at a loss, that's when you really lose money. You don't lose money from here. Like say if all these were bought at like $25, just because it says it's $23, $19, $15. That doesn't mean I lost the money. Right now, yeah, technically I don't have as much, but I lose when I sell it. I don't lose because it's there. It's just on paper. It's called paper loss. It's just a paper loss. It's not really real until you sell it, then it's real. So it's don't getting emotionally attached and freaking out, because if you have a solid prediction and you have good analysis, good tidbits, it's a fundamental coin. You just got to be patient. You got to wait for it to go up into to the point where you're on top of the trade and you're making money, and then you can close it out and make your money. So here I'm gonna go with ADX to show you an example of how to buy and sell. Just kind of recap what we've done. We first had money in Coinbase that we bought with our debit card or bank account. Took that from Coinbase, moved it into our wallet on Bittrex. We're using that wallet here. So if I were to move however much Bitcoin, it would be popped up right here. It'd be under the BTC available. I'll just kind of go back and forth to show you guys. So that was kind of random what I did. Sometimes they sell quickly, sometimes they don't. Let's cancel it. I cancel it, should pop back up. So here. Oh. I cancel. I'll be quick with it so you can get it filled right away. Just because your order doesn't get filled right away, don't freak out. It just means you have to wait for someone to actually want to buy it at the price that you have it at. I kind of just do it quickly just because I'm just trying to show you how this video works. And sometimes I get impatient. I just want my buys and sells filled right away. I don't care if I get it for a little bit of a lower, higher price. I just want it right away. That's what I did when I canceled the order and just did it at another last price, because this last price changes. Like you can see right here, it will change. It's just the last price that it's been bought at and sold at or whatever. It changed out, went up a little bit. So now, say if I moved this amount of Bitcoin into my wallet from Coinbase, say this is what I got, and you want to buy. We'll go back to Nexus actually. I'm gonna put my money back into ADX after I'm done with this video, but I'll just kind of show you with or NXT or whatever. What am I doing? What am I doing? All right. Now we're into Bitcoin, and we're back on the coin that we want to buy. Say if you go to your last price, you want to use all your Bitcoin you have, you just click max, and then that's your max amount of Bitcoin that you can use. This is your this is how many coins you'll get of NXT, and you press buy and press confirm, and then voila, it's on the other side. Now you have 45 coins of NXT, and then you wait. Then you can go to your wallet. You can go to your wallet. Now I have it right here. I have about $23 worth of NXT. For the sake of this video, I kind of just want to keep it on this coin. This is like my own little analysis that I did on my own. No, this is not NXT. This is NXS. When you start looking at these coins, you kind of start seeing what's a good and bad buy. Oh wait, this is a stock. Wrong one. I want to get rid of that. NXT. So I think it's a good buy right now. I think it could go up because it's already kind of low, and it did make a new high. Obviously, it's crashing in a way or correcting. But I'm on the low end of the crash. I'm not up here or whatever. I'm pretty low, hitting some pretty good support points. I think it probably still will go down lower, so I might put it back in that ADX. But I might just keep an eye on this to see if set some alerts, see if it goes down more, or I might split it in half. I don't think I can, because you need 0.001 of Bitcoin to make each trade on Bittrex. But yeah, so this is what you can do on your own. You can kind of analyze these things on your own. And the best way to try to look at these things would just be, just look at like what's a good bottom. What's a good bottom? Like if it ever gets down to these points, it's like almost essential that you should be buying it because it's most likely just going to go back up. But for the sake of this, like, even if it did go low, I don't think it will drop down too low unless like, it's just a complete trash coin. I think it will definitely, make some new highs. And for 50 cents a coin, it's not bad. People do like those cheap coins, so they might like stick with it, whatnot. It didn't really move in price so far, but yeah. So now that you do that, that's what you do. You just wait. So say if you already did that, NXT goes up to $1, right? NXT, yeah, you see on my screen, it's at 50 cents. This is what the plugin does. These blue things are what the plugin adds. This is all regular stuff that you'll see. So it's kind of like it's kind of hard to do without these plugins. It's not impossible, but you just got to do a lot more conversions on your own. It's nicer to have it all available ready for you. But say if this goes up to $1, whatever I have in here, this will double. So it'll be like 46. And then say if this was $1, say if it jumped up to $1, what I would do, say if it took a week or two, and I'm paying attention, then actually before I go back to the sell point, it's just the same thing in reverse, but I'll just like kind of like keep a little flow here of like how you could look at these things. There's this app for Apple, for iOS. If they don't have for Android, I'm sorry. I don't have an Android, but if they do have the app, then you can probably still get it, and it's super helpful. It's called BTRX, kind of, stands for Bittrex. It has like a little graph. I don't know if you can see that. It's on the top there. My camera's not the best, so it's going to be a little hard to like focus in on. But that's what it looks like. I'll go on the App Store. Maybe I can find a better picture of it. But what that app does is it allows you to look at your coins, and so that's like a bigger picture of it. That's what it looks like on the App Store. It's called BTRX. It says a Bittrex client. Well, I need to get like a better camera if I'm gonna make more videos. But that's like the app logo or whatever. Open it. And it has, you're not going to be able to see it, but it just has like a balance of your current balance. Kind of on my screen, it'll show you the exact balance. Like it's literally like the same. Then it'll show you what coins you're currently in. So I think I have a high zero balance. Will show me, this is all the coins I have money in right now. OK Cash, US Tether, Bitcoin, NXT, and Pay. Yeah. And before it was ADX, so that's how it would have been looking like on there. It could show you different little things on the app, such as like your withdrawals and deposits, your orders. It won't let you control trades. It's not a trading app. It's just kind of like an overview app. It lets you look into your account with having to log in through the website, which is a lot easier because on the mobile, it's super hard to like log in. But with the app, it allows you to see a lot of things quickly. You can check the prices of the coins. That's another important thing. You can check the prices of the coins pretty quickly. It doesn't show you like the prices in terms of like 50 cents, $3.96 like it does on here with the plugin. But it will show you the Satoshi or like the Bitcoin price of it. So if you are paying attention to your things, you'll see here that currently NXT is, once it loads up, and it'll show you on my phone too. NXT is currently 0.00003, 4 O's and a 3. If I were to predict it doubling, then it's going to be going to 4 O's and a 6. And that's stuff that you can pay attention to on the app itself. You don't have to like log in. It takes forever. It's simple. You don't even have to log into the app. It's just like automatically in your phone. It's super easy. And when I make my new video for Binance, I think it's going to be even easier. And I'm actually kind of excited to switch into Binance. I'm just waiting on them to get more coins because they don't have a lot of coins that Bittrex does. But once they do, I'll probably switch over a lot more and also depending on fees and whatnot, to try to just have things easier. It'd be easier to place trades on your phone than having to come log into my computer. Because when I place trades now on Bittrex, I still have to log into my computer, and I can do it through my phone, but it's not like user friendly for mobile devices. So it's just a lot better to do it on your computer. But people work all the day. I work sometimes. Like it's not like I'm always going to be able to be on a computer 24/7 focusing on these things. So it's nice to have an app to check on. It's nice to kind of come in here at like in the morning, or when I'm off work or have free time, to kind of come in the account and trade it and everything. So I'm gonna get back into ADX. So I'll show you the same thing that you do if you want to sell. Say if this were to go up to 0.00006, I think that's 4 O's. And it doubles. I get double the amount of Bitcoin for the same amount of Nexus coins that I'm selling. Just making money with it. That's what I would do. Obviously, right now the price is not like that. So if I wanted, I could put an order in for 0.006. I could, but who's gonna buy it? No one's gonna buy it. It'll be there, but people are only gonna buy it when the price actually goes up that high, and then someone will buy it. Unless someone wants to buy it for a high price, but I just don't really see that happening. One thing you can do too for these sells is, a lot of people that are more technical and know about these things. You'll know the terms I'm using, but I'll try to break it down for people that don't really know. There's two terms that you can use for when you're placing a sell, like a conditional sell order, and that would be take profit and stop loss. On Bittrex, you can only do one. You can't do both. In Forex, you can do both because you're trading on margin. But since we're trading without margin, you can only do like one. But I'll break into what it means. So what a take profit trade would look like is you do a conditional, and take profit meaning like you've already made your money, you want to take profit, or like this is your target goal of what you want it to be at. So if you think it's going to go up to like 0.006, for purposes, I'm gonna say 4 decimal places and a 6. You're gonna do a take profit of 0.006 or whatever. So you'll do conditional. Normally it's at a limit. It's a default. You'll do conditional. You'll do a condition, and the condition is when it's greater than or equal to the price that you think it's going to go up to. So if I say it's going to go up to double the price, 4 O's and a 6, and then that's the condition. That's pretty much saying like, okay, put this trade in the books when it does this, when it's greater than or equal to this price. But you can still have your ask price, meaning what you really want to sell it for, at a different price. You could put it at the cheap price. That wouldn't be too wise of you. But you could still do it at the price that you think it'll go up to or higher. If you think like, okay, it's going to get past to this price, I'm going to put it at a higher price. So if it keeps going, it can hit this price. You only get one shot, I guess, to speak. You can come and change this whenever you want. You can cancel it and do it a different way. But once you put it in there, that's how it's going to be. And it's a lot easier if you're pretty certain on your trade and you want to keep checking in to have to sell it and come and log in to sell it, you can have this do it automatically for you. But just know it's only going to be able to do one or the other. It's going to be either take profit or stop your loss. But most of the time you're going to be pretty confident, I would think, to have it at a take profit. So this is what you do. You'd have it at a take profit, and as you can see here, it's almost double of what I had in there earlier. I put in only 0.0013 or so of Bitcoin, and if it were to double, this is how much Bitcoin I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get double my Bitcoin. So I put that sell out, confirm. It confirms it. It's placed, but it's not filled because it's not up to that price. Filled is when someone actually buys it from you. And $46, my $23 would turn to $46 if it does go up. I think it would take some time, a month, maybe, maybe double check my work. If in a month it doubles, free signal or something. I don't know. But, that's how you do it. So, I'm just going to cancel it. Cancels. My Nexus coins or NXT coins are back in the NXT wallet. and ready for me to do whatever I want. And I'll go into the second part. So you use take profit when you think it's going to go up and you want to take the profit. You use a stop loss when you're not too sure about it and you just want to. It's I would think it's especially used for when you have a lot of money in the trade because you don't want to lose too much money. It's important to trade to conserve your capital. So if you have a thing you're not too sure about it and you also just want to be careful, you don't want it to go down and start losing a lot of money, start catching whatever. You would put a stop loss. So what a stop loss is, same thing as take profit, except it's the other one. It's less than or equal to, meaning if it goes lower than this price, I want you to put this trade out there so people would buy it at this price. So right now it's at 4 decimal places in the 3. If you're like, hey, I don't want it to go back down to like 0.002 or whatever, like 4 decimal places in the 2. So what you do, same thing. 4 decimal places and a 2. Same thing for your ask, or you can put it a little bit lower, like 1.9, in case it's like dropping fast, so you can make sure it gets filled. What this would do is when it gets to that low of a price, it will then allow this trade to be placed into the books, and then it will allow them to buy it at this price that you have it for, your ask price. And then that way, if it were to start dropping too low and you weren't able to pay attention and catch it when it's falling and make sure you sell it so you don't lose too much money, and it's just like free falling, then you would use that to hold your to make sure you're not losing money. In a way, too, say if you're watching it, it's going up, and you already passed your take profit, meaning or your price. Like the price that you were expecting it to go to. Say if you didn't put a take profit and it went up to a high price, you can then put a stop loss at that price, which is essentially still a take profit, but instead of putting it there to save you from losing money, you're putting it there so that way if it goes up even further from the price that you want it to go up for, and then it goes back down, you would still close it at the price that you were expecting it to go to, and that's still in profit. It's just allowing you to have a little safe way. So if you're not paying attention, you're not going to lose out on your profits. And if it does go higher and higher, then you can move that stop loss up. So then that way, you're just what's the word? You're just securing your gains. You're securing your profit. Because if it's going up and up, say if I don't know if you can see my thing. Here's the price. Here's your stop loss. And if it's going up, and it doesn't seem like it's going to go down, then you can put your stop loss up here. So then that way, if it ever goes down, it's going to hit it and it's going to take profit at a higher place. Then if you had your stop loss here and the price is going up and you never moved your stop loss and it went up here, but then it goes down all the way here, it will hit your stop loss. You'll still make profit, but you're not going to make as much profit as you could have if you moved your stop loss up. So that's important to move your stop losses up when you're making good profits. It's still going to take profit. You could put a take profit if you're trying to go for a quick trade, but that's what you do with conditional orders. And yeah, it's important to kind of have this in your trading arsenal. I mean, you could realistically just buy and then wait and then sell, and it's the same thing. But this just kind of allows you to be a little more hands free, and just kind of not have to go and do it yourself. And it just does it automatically for you if you're pretty confident it's going to go up to a certain price. So I'm gonna get back into ADX. Just do a limit. Sell my 80 XT. This is what it looks like when you trade. It's pretty straightforward. As you can see, my sell that I placed didn't get filled right away. It might get filled soon, it might not. It all depends on where the price is heading. Like I'm saying, I'm just kind of impatient. I'm just trying to get back into what I want. I don't want to wait, so I'm just going to cancel it and do it all over again. Try to get it filled so I can quickly get back into ADX. One thing I like about crypto that is different from things like stock options and Forex is most of these things take a long time for them to play out. So like you don't have to be worrying about, you know, if you're trading stock options in the morning, not that I have anything against them, I think they're really cool. Shout out to my man Bijan. He put me on with his videos, and I learned a lot from him. You guys should check him out. And I definitely want to get into stock options soon. I just don't have capital, but like with stock options and like stocks is like they move so fast in the morning that like you don't have much of a time to catch them. Um, they just move so fast. Like you literally make so much money in this amount of money in this amount of time, but you have to be up early in the morning doing that stuff. Like you have to be very dedicated to analyzing the charts and being spot on with your stuff. Um, and with Bitcoin and crypto, for the most part, these take a decent amount of time to catch on. So even if like, you know, the only way you could really miss these waves is if you just never get into it. It's not like you were like, oh, I want to get into it today, and then by tomorrow it shot up like $10,000. Like it doesn't happen like that. It happens over like a longer period of time. What am I doing? ADX. So, there's plenty of time for you to get in on a trade. There's plenty of time for you to analyze the markets and check it out. Like you don't have like all the time in the world, but you do have a decent amount of time, and that's good to know. That's good to know. It just makes it a little less stressful. So even same thing with the price. If it's going up, shooting up like really high, it's still going to take a little while for it to go down. Obviously, it takes a lot quicker for it to go down than it did to build up. But you're not going to miss out everything completely. So that's the one thing I like about crypto in general. I think it's pretty. Is it 80EX? I think it's 80X. Oh yeah, this is one. That's just the name of the coin. So buy, get back in my 80X trade. I don't know if it'll sell or get filled right away. Yeah, I got filled. Cool. So you can see at the top it got filled. And that is how you do it, man. And girls and girl, if you're any ladies watching, that's how you do these things. That's how you trade these accounts. For Bittrex, at least, that's how you move your Bitcoin to one wallet to the next. You could do the same thing with Litecoin. That was pretty much just a video on Bittrex. I'll do another one on Binance. And yeah, so if you want to stick around, I'll show you local Bitcoin. This is for people who kind of want to get away from Coinbase, depending on whatever you want to do. This is a peer-to-peer thing. This is not through an exchange. So you're just dealing with people. I like local Bitcoin because there's no limits. Like you don't have to, there's no limit on here. Like on Coinbase there's a limit, but on here there's no limits. Like let's see, let's go to a cash deposit. The fees are a little bit higher. They tend to be higher. Like Coinbase can be cheaper, but if you're buying Bitcoin already at a low price, then I mean it's going to go up and you'll make your money back in terms of fees because these people are doing this to make money. They're selling higher. I mean Bitcoin's right now 16,700 and they're selling it for like 18, 19, 20 because they're trying to make some money off of it and whatever. So these people will have a limit normally, but it's a lot higher than what you could get here. Here you can buy $6,000 worth of Bitcoin like that, literally like that. And you can go here. You can say, "Yo, I want to buy 6,000." They have their little things on the side that they're like, "Yeah, I wanted to see your ID, clear picture." It's for Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, KeyBank. If you want to buy more than 5,000, we can do wire transfers. We'll do immediate release. Go to the bank, cash deposit. Obviously, you have to have the cash on you, $5,000, $100 bills, 50 bills, right? Yeah, and you just take all that cash to the bank and you do a cash deposit in their account information, which they'll give to you. You upload the receipt on here, and they'll double check in their account and then they'll trade with you. Most of these guys have good feedbacks. You can look at their profiles. This guy is on over 100 with 260 people. Average time is 9 minutes, very quickly. He's verified. He's been blocked by one guy out of like the 100 people that trust him. People give him good reviews. You can check him out. People don't always have the best reviews, so maybe you might want to stay away. This guy actually has his number with an email. Very professional. But this is another way to buy Bitcoin. You don't have to go through Coinbase. You can do local Bitcoin. There's other exchanges out there that you can buy Bitcoin from. Each one's going to have its own process. They're going to want you to have their IDs and so on and so forth. But here's just kind of like a little extra thing I threw in here for you guys to kind of like just be knowledgeable about. You can buy Bitcoin from them pretty easily. Some of them will do like bank transfers and like Zelle. I know Zelle is a thing that people that have that, Chase, Citibank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, you could do like Zelle and switch from one bank to the other. Zelle is always going to have like a limit. Like this guy can buy 11 grand of Bitcoin. Like, you can't do that with Coinbase, at least not whatever. And like, if you had like $1 million and you wanted to invest into Bitcoin, I mean, I think there's better ways to do it, but you could just do it in small increments from each one of these guys. And it would take you a while, definitely. But I mean, it's possible. This guy right here, 75,000. And this is Chicago. It's where near I live. So, I mean, there's ways to do it. Most people aren't buying $1 million with the Bitcoin. If you are, I would actually seek professional help from other people. You don't want to just be doing it on your own. You should definitely have a team of investors and people that can help you. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Same thing. If you buy it from local Bitcoin, send it out of here using these addresses, the amount. The fees are actually a lot lower. That's the cool thing about local Bitcoin too. You don't have to worry about fees, especially for Bitcoin. Pretty sure they're a lot lower. And then that's about it. So yeah, that's wrapping up my video for Coinbase and local Bitcoin and Bittrex. I'm gonna go into Binance after this video. I still gotta kind of like check it out, learn the ins and outs, and then I'll make another video. Binance is something that people can still join. I think I actually might have read an article yesterday that there might be restricting new users, but if you can, I'll make another video on Binance. I'll probably do some other videos on other exchanges. I think there's like YoBit and some other ones. But I mean, all in all, it's about the same. It's all like the same, like gist of it. So hopefully this video is helpful. I know it's a little lengthy. I'm kind of not that good at making short videos, so I'm gonna try to work on that. But yeah, that's how you do it. If you have any questions, let me know.